And so we come to a final 4 anime airing this season. I mean, there's a few more which I've skipped. Anime I wouldn't watch, so I've skipped them. And of course I've skipped some shows which I'll be returning after being delayed from spring. There's also a bunch of shows which were delayed from summer into autumn, so I'll probably get to those next season. But the anime world is very up in the air right now. Who knows what's going to come in future. One anime I won't be reviewing is Sword Art Online. I could have reviewed it, I considered reviewing it, but since it'd be on its own, and it's kind of obvious whether or not you should watch it, I'm just going to say here, if you watch Sword Art Online War of the Underworld Part 1, watch Sword Art Online War of the Underworld Part 2. There's no real two ways about it. And so, for the final time this season, this is a 2020 summer anime preview from a different perspective. My youth romantic comedy as wrong as I expected Climax, or Season 3, or my teen romantic comedy Snafu Climax, is the final series in a light novel adaptation, a romantic comedy sort of heart-to-heart type show. When it first came out, I didn't really watch it. With the first 2 series that was. I think it got Funimation trapped at one point, or Sentai trapped, I'm not sure. But for some reason it was not available in the UK to watch as it streamed, or wasn't paying for the service it was on, so I wasn't able to watch it. And of course, when that happened, I didn't watch Season 2 either. Thankfully, I've been reading the light novels, and I decided to buy the anime and catch up with it that way, so I'm ready for Season 3. Now, Snafu, as I'm going to call it, is about a guy called Hachiman Hikigaya, who is a terrible, terrible human being. His lot in life is to do nothing, to do as little as possible, to not get involved with anyone, and just live a easy life as a house husband, to marry rich, and to live his life of luxury. Sadly, he has none of a charm which will bring him that result, or so you think, but as we're introduced to him, we're also introduced to the 2 female leads as well, Yukino Yukinoshita and Yui Gahama, 2 girls who seemingly have a connection to him. Turns out that he was in a car crash his first day of school, he missed his grand school debut, not really done anything with it anyway. And the car crash was because he ran out into the road to try and save a dog, and he was run over by a car. The car was driving Yukino Yukinoshita to school. The dog was owned by Yui Gahama. And the teacher, the fantastic Shizuka Hiratsuka, seeing how isolated and how much of a loner he is, decides to put him into a special club, the Service Club. The other member of the Service Club is the aforementioned Yukino Yukinoshita. Their first client is Yui Gahama, who eventually joins the club. That's our entire story. And that's where Seasons 1 and Season 2 go on. Now Season 3 jumps in literally right into a story. There's no recap, there's no last time on Snafu. It's just, look, here's the story, carry on. So if you're going into this blind, or if you haven't watched the other anime in the last 6 months or so, like I haven't, then it's going to be a bit jarring, just saying, okay, here's some characters speaking in the snow, like it was yesterday. And it probably was yesterday. I think the last episode had this as a premise, why they finished the episode up. But going into it as a brand new series is a strange option. It strikes me as a series which has a lot to do, and not enough time to do it in. And they do seem to have a lot to do because they want to finish this series. They want to have gone with the name Climax if that wasn't the case. But this first episode, we're not even given a recap of all the important characters. We see some characters, but characters we see are all based on the plot of that episode. We don't get the usual recap of, oh, here's a cameo by this guy, here's a cameo by this person. It's just, here's a story. But I'm okay with that, because again, the characters are fun, as well as the aforementioned Yui, Yukino and Hachiman. We got the best little sister in Kamachi, who scores 100 marks out of 100 marks every single time. You got the ultimate best girl ever in the form of Saika. Seriously, Saika is best girl. I don't care if there's a guy, it's best girl. And you got a whole bunch of other fantastic characters. Ebina, Saki, Iraha. Yeah, we've got to mention Iraha at some point, I'm sure. But Otaku guy is always hanging around Hickey. Who knows? But yeah. But looking over the strange introduction to the episode and the fact it just throws you in, I'm fine with that, because like with ReZero on the last episode, this one is one you'll watch if you've seen the before mentioned anime. If you've not seen it, then it might stir you into watching it. This is very much to finish up light novels to give reviewers something to watch, more so than ReZero, which is more to sell the light novels. This one, the light novels are finished, no reason to sell any more of them. Here's the anime, thumbs up, well done. If you did want to watch Snafu, you can find it airing both over at High Dive and Crunchyroll. Uzaki-chan just wants to hang out. We're introduced to this anime with that very simple premise of a girl just wanting to hang out. Fair enough, but is the episode any good? Well, people do seem to like this series, and I can think of two absolutely ginormous reasons why people might want to hang out with Uzaki-chan. Reason the first, her super huge personality. The other one, she's got giant tits. Now, the anime doesn't tell you that. It doesn't need to. It puts them right front and fore in your face every second it gets. Whether or not it's just her small nature, or her ginormous breasts, or her wearing a Sugoi Dakei t-shirt, bringing ever more to her fulsome fun bags. But memories aside, the show is kind of okay, I suppose. First episode didn't really do it for me, and not in that way, although I will be honest, it didn't really do it for that way either. She's cute, she's fun, not very attractive in that way to me. She's just a cute tomboy, playing up and messing with her senpai, cheeky, selfish, self-centered, but cute. Poor guy has to keep up with her. I can't actually remember his name. I was too distracted. Can't imagine why. Uzaki-chan is very much an anime for having laughs with fan service. There's no real fan service here. There's the horrible hand. The worst hand in anime. You know, much gropes. I know I do it for laughs, but a grope is no longer a laughable thing. I mean, it wasn't originally, but it's got different connotations these days, and I don't want to be the fun police, but let's not have gropes in our anime, please. If you are interested in watching Uzaki-chan just wants to hang out, you can find it airing over at Funimation. Welcome back to Nisekoi, the subsidised dating version. Welcome to the world of Rent-A-Girlfriend, an anime title which is so literal in its meaning, you don't really need to tell me what the anime is about. It's about a guy who decides to use an app to rent a girlfriend. Now, it always happens because the main guy, Kazuya, is a bit of a loser. He gets himself a girlfriend, a really attractive girl, and he acts all creepy, wanting to find a way to mess with her every chance he can get, always grinning and it leering over at her body. I mean, you're going out with her, you don't need to leer over her body anymore. Wait until it's time. Definitely don't try and grope her. And, as you might expect, she dumps him. He's heartbroken, and he sees her going out with another guy. Clearly this girl is quite easy. And so he's sitting in home, in bed, tissue handy, thinking about what his ex-girlfriend is going to be doing with this guy. I'm sure tissues are there just for visual effect, not for any particular reason. And he finds himself reaching to his phone and using a Rent-A-Girlfriend subsidised dating app. And he finds a cute girl to go out with, although it's being the internet, who knows what she looks like. And it's going to cost him a huge bomb to have a girlfriend for a day, but he does it. He decides to go out on a rented girlfriend date. And so we're introduced to our main female leader in the anime, Chizuru. And she is perfect. She's cute, she's beautiful, she's got a winning personality, she's interested in anything he says. She puts in a real effort into making him feel welcome and her appearance. He couldn't ask for a better girlfriend. And so he goes home happy, thinking, you know what, I'm going to have to go out on a date again. I like that girl. But he hasn't got the funds to do that. And then he realised something. Funds. He wasn't interested in him. She was interested in his money. It's as if he paid her to be his girlfriend. He's mad, he's furious this girl has tricked him into giving him hope. So he pays her again. Gets her to come along the second time, and this time confronts her, saying, "You are a terrible person, you're renting your body out to be girlfriends." I mean, you're not renting your body out, you're renting out your time. But you might as well be a buddy, since I'm all going to masturbate you tonight. Doesn't say that, but let's be honest, that's what most people would think he'd be saying. And she really tries to just pass it up as, okay, it's just banter. Then she takes him to one side and very find out her personality is atrocious. She's in it for a rating. She wants the 5-star Yelp reviews. She wants everybody to rate her highly in TripAdvisor. And his 1-star review, after realising that she was basically just a subsidised date, yeah, that's what he paid for, mate, was terrible. And she's really, really pissed off about it. So much so, she tries to stick with him and prove herself as perfect throughout the rest of his second date, despite the fact he doesn't want her to be there anymore. Yeah. 5 minutes later, in the hospital because his nan has collapsed, and she's there with him. And her family's over the moon. He's finally got himself a girlfriend, and what a girlfriend as well, she's hot. So when are you going to get married? Take over family business? Yeah, he doesn't want any of it, she doesn't want any of it, family clearly does. We also learned that her nan is also in the hospital, long-time inpatient. And her nan knows his nan, and the nans in both families are really, really strong and powerful. And so he can't disappoint the nan, because that would be horrible, he might kill them. And so we get to our nisekoi scenario, where two people really hate each other, and end up having to pretend they're dating for the sake of their families. Now, we'll be honest, the characters in this one are cute. The premise is a bit dull, really. It's not the worst anime I've seen this season, far from it, but it's not really worth your time either. If you're not interested in this type of anime, if you didn't enjoy Nisekoi, skip this one in a heartbeat. You can find this one everything over at Crunchyroll. Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time sounds like a really, really in-depth name for an anime. It's not. It's about a guy called Peter Grill who wins a fighting tournament. He's declared the world's strongest man, and as such, his genes are of interest to everybody. But he doesn't care. He's got eyes for just one girl, the absolutely adorable, clueless Lovelia. When asked how babies are made, she looks at him innocently and says, "We need to pray really, really hard, and hopefully the gift may be given to you." Yeah, that's not how it works. You see, when a mum and a dad really, really love each other, they spend a lot of time doing stuff you can only find in hentai, and not in a tentacle rape either. Although, depending on the species, that might be involved. Now, this isn't that porn review anime from a few seasons back. This is an anime about Peter Grill and the horny ogres, because as well as having his eyes on Lovelia, 2 ogres have got their eyes on him. The lusty Lisa and the lusty Mimi. 2 sisters, huge breasts, big horns, big horn. They'll stop at nothing to get at his horn to complement theirs. And it seems to imply there's going to be more characters just wanting this guy any chance they get. And he's always going to be running around trying to avoid Lovelia's knowledge, because he wants Lovelia to love him, and he wants to be with Lovelia. All these other girls want him to be with her. Anime happens. It really shouldn't. This one's bad. If you do want to watch this one's also airing over at High Dive and Crunchyroll. And that wraps up the season. What did you think? I think it's a pretty weak season all in all. There's a few anime interested in, mostly sequels as I said earlier. And most of all, it looks like I've got lots of free time to play more Minecraft. Hopefully this awesome season will be much better. It's looking like it will be. That's not hard. So join me then. Thanks very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.